Okay, well, hello everybody. Hope you're all safe. Hope you are all well. You join me out and about on another test ride, another review, this time on the Yamaha MT-09 Y-AMT. Bit of a mouthful. Let's get into what that means. So, Y-AMT stands for Yamaha Automated Manual Transmission. So, this bike has no clutch lever and it has no gear shifter. Down there, the left hand side of this bike is completely free of any instruments. However, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a manual mode. Behind here, you won't be able to see it, but behind here we do have a little button, a little toggle that you pull and that upshifts, and then a little thumb button down there that you push and that downshifts. Yamaha have released this in an attempt to show off its sportiness and its responsiveness of the automatic system. So I'm intrigued to see how we actually get on with it. I have rode automatic bikes before. I have rode a Honda DCT. I have rode a electric motorcycle, which obviously doesn't have any gears. From what I'm being told, this is the future. BMW and KTM are already working on systems like this, and Honda's DCT, as I mentioned just then. Would you believe that that's been, known about, that's been in the works for over a decade. Could not believe that. I could not believe that for love nor money. So let's get straight into it. So the engine, we have an 890cc liquid cooled 3-cylinder producing 117 brake horsepower and 93 newton meters of torque. It's the exact same engine that's used in the Yamaha XSR 900 and the GP version. It's a fantastic engine. I've rode the XSR 900 GP and that was very torquey. It does have some high end, but most of it is the mid-range power, the mid-range torque. I'm hoping this will be the same. The big difference of this, as I've already mentioned, is the fact that we're in an automatic mode at the moment and it's doing all the gear changes for me. So we do have some rider mode still. We still have sport, street, rain. That's always, and your two custom modes. That's all going to be manual, so that will be where you do decide to you pull here to up and you push there to down. But at the moment we're in D+, so the automatic modes you have are D, which is meant to basically be like a twist and go scooter, nice and easy, not so aggressive. And then we have D+. Now D+ is still like a twist and go scooter. I'm not having to operate any clutch, I'm not having to shift any gears, so it will still just twist and go on its own. But it's meant to be a bit more aggressive. It's meant to allow the bike to rev up through the RPMs more and become more alive. You have all your power options here, so it's telling us what our power is, it's telling us what our traction control is, so we can see that at all times. There is a little flick, a little switch here, so I'll see if I can actually do that. So if I hit that button, now we are in street mode. So if I'm correct, it now will not change gear unless I tell it to. I will apply that principle. So if I downshift, yep, there we go, that's a downshift. That's a downshift. And we're just going to give this a bit of an open up. Oh, there's the thing. It's hard to reach. That plus is hard to reach, but I have reached it. Oh, it's so weird to use your finger and your thumb. That's what it is. It's your thumb to downshift, your finger to upshift. That's very odd. I'm going to put it in, because that was street. Do I have to be off the throttle? I do have to be off the throttle. So that's now D+, which we were already in. Oh, I think I see what you have to do. There's a mode button as well. Sorry guys, we're learning this as we go. So with the mode button, if I can just reach that with my thumb, maybe I have to be off the throttle for that as well. You do have to be off the throttle. So sport mode. So everything is set to 1. I don't know if that's obviously the most powerful or everything's set as low as you possibly want it. We might do a few minutes in sport mode, in a manual mode, see how we get on. Finger and thumb. That would take some getting used to. That really would take some getting used to. But it's not a hard system to use or or anything like that. It's just weird. It's just weird that there's no quick shifter. It's weird that there's no clutch. But yeah, fair enough. I might stick it back into an automatic mode now, just because that's what we're here to do. That's so weird in a twist and go. Yeah, that D plus mode is it is a little bit more responsive than the D, but not by much. Nothing to really notice, in my opinion. I really do feel like that in order to get the most out of this bike, you're going to have to master the manual mode, and that just begs the question: why would you then buy this? You just go out and buy the Yamaha MT-09. And that is going to be a big talking point on I suppose, throughout this review. Is I think, I don't know if I'm enjoying this system yet. It hasn't been enough time, but I see the point of them. I do get the point of these automatic systems. It does appear to be the way we're all going, similar to cars. They're all automatic now. But well, I just don't. I think I'm just not going to understand why it's in this bike. Why is it the MT-09? Which is a street, sporty feel, very responsive, bit of a hooligan machine. Why put it in this? Because the system itself, the Y-AMT system, it weighs 3 kilograms. So I think they've made I think the weight of this bike altogether now is like 193 kilograms. So you're heavier than the MT-09 now. You know, you don't have as much freedom in terms of the. And I will say this: I'm not encouraging it, but let's be honest, you know, the people that like these styles of bikes and who do use them, people, you know, use them for what they can do, and that's the stunt riding, the wheelies. This is going to be very hard to do that in, because you don't have the clutch. If it ever breaks down, God forbid, if it got a flat battery, you wouldn't be able to bump start it. You'd have to, from what I've been told, you have to remove a panel, and there's like a switch that you have to use. It sounds all very complicated, not the kind of stuff you want to be doing on the side of the road, let's put it that way. Everyone knows how popular the MT-09s are, the MT-07s are, the MT-10s are. The MT range has been a very, very successful model of motorcycle. They haven't really changed much for this. The suspension, frame, brakes, everything is the same as the MT-09, just with obviously the added AMT system. Even as far as the dash, that's all the same as well. The only thing that is different is that bottom line there for all your AMT modes and all your power setting modes. So you know, you're getting an MT-09 with an automatic system and a little bit of more information on the dash to support that system. I'll talk briefly about the looks. I think everyone universally quite enjoys an MT-09. They're an MT or MTs in general. They're all starting to look a little bit transformery at the front now, with their little screens and their headlights that are like stepped up, and you know, I think it's a common little addition that people put these little transformery face decals or overalls or overlays, whatever they are, on them. But away from that, I quite actually enjoy what they have going on. I like these guards. They're quite sturdy as well, and they seem like they actually do quite a good job of taking the air away from the hands. I like this tank. I like how wide and imposing and aggressive it is. I like these little vents here. I think they're the same on the MT-09. I might be wrong, but I like that. Yeah, I really like what's going on up here. Don't like the fact that the brake reservoir shakes a little bit, but I suppose, you know, naked bike, street bike, that's what you're going to get. This is keyless. I should say this is keyless. That's the same as the SP version. So yeah, I've got a key in my pocket, but you don't have to faff around with it. You have to push it down once and then flick it on. A nice little touch, I suppose. It's not something I'd go crazy for. I will compliment the AMT system. The upshifts are nice and smooth. No jerkiness, no sudden dive or anything like that. Down blips are great for the most part. It's just second to first is a little bit stiff, a little bit surprising. You would be ready for it obviously on a manual bike, but I don't think you're going to be as ready for it, at least I haven't been during this test ride. You're not going to be as ready for it, like there. I don't know if you can see it or if the camera might have jilted, but it does happen. It just sort of clunks itself into first, and me as the rider. Maybe if you're stronger, I'm a little bit, you know, lanky, so everything it just clunks me forward. But yeah, I will like there. I don't know. It's got a really nasty clunk to it as well. It's very, very, very aggressive. I will just give the lady in front a bit of room. Yeah, but the upshift there, first to second, smooth as you like. Smooth as you like. The bike's not overly tall. Seat height's 825 millimeters. I'm 6'2". I can easily flat foot this with a lot of bent knee, and I think that's why they're so popular. I think that's why everyone likes them, because they can be rode by a wider range of people. Of all shapes and sizes. Even if you're just shorter than 6 foot, I think you'd do alright. Okay, having now done a little bit more of twisting the throttle quite aggressively in the D plus mode, I will compliment it and say it does stay in the gear for a good amount of time, maybe even too long, maybe I'd have changed gear a little earlier and shifted up, because once you've used the mid-range torque of this bike, that's your lot really. You don't really want to be taking this too high. It is a 3-cylinder, it's not an inline 4, there's no point ragging it and screaming its heart out. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. I'm going to put it in manual for a bit, I think I'm going to try and see how I get on with that. Let's talk numbers, let's talk money. So the Yamaha MT-09 comes in at just over £10,000, like 10,100 and something. This comes in at 10,600 and something, so it's like a £550 premium, which yeah isn't the worst. I certainly think it almost, I don't know, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I always think little, I don't want to say gimmicks, because I don't think this is a gimmick. I think this is genuinely the way motorcycling is going, this automatic manual, automated manual transmission, DCT, whatever you want to call it. It is going in that direction, so I am glad there's not like a crazy premium on it, because it's not exactly new tech. You know, we've had automatic cars and we've had twist and go scooters for decades, so yeah, it's just about making it the norm, isn't it? I wonder if any of these manufacturers will ever get to a point where they don't make a manual, like a full-on clutch and gear shifter version of any particular bike. You know, Honda will probably be the first ones to do it if it hasn't already happened. I don't know if it has or hasn't already happened. I just imagine they'll be the first to do it. Maybe with like the Rebel or the Africa Twin. Sorry, I realised I was in manual mode and I hadn't shifted down. Do you hear how really nice though those shifts are? Chunk, chunk. Sounds really nice when you're in manual mode, but in automatic mode it's just kind of like, it's nice. My indicator was still on. It's nice, but that second to first is, which we'd probably get to here. We'd probably do second to first. It just clunks you in. And if you're not ready for it, I just don't want that. I don't enjoy it. I haven't had to overuse them, but brakes have been absolutely fine. Very similar again to the MT-09. In fact, exactly the same. And the XSR 900. It has the Brembo master brake cylinder, which is nice. And yeah, I think if you just wanted to enhance the braking a little bit more, you would put on some braided lines, maybe some wavy discs, and some enhanced pads. In terms of comfort, it's an MT. No one's going to buy one of these and expect to be able to tour in complete comfort to France or Germany or something. But it's not the most uncomfortable position in the world. The seat's very firm, so the bum will get a little bit numb. But you can get, obviously, an enhanced modified seat. You can get seat covers now, fluffy little seat pads and all that jazz, gel underwear if you're really that way inclined. But the handlebar position is lovely, very, very neutral, very relaxed. I'm not tensed, I'm not strained, I'm not reaching. They're nice and far back, they're wide bars, which makes you feel very sturdy, makes you feel very big. Absolutely love that. I'm a big fan of that setup. The instruments on here, again, very, very much the same on the MT-09 and the XSR 900 GP. I find this to be very clustered, a lot going on here. and I don't really like it. There's too many things for me to touch. There's too many things to get wrong, and yeah, I wish I'd put it in automatic before we got into these areas where I need to constantly keep downshifting because I'm trying to talk and yeah, stuff happens. Anyway, yeah, it's very clustered. On this side, it's all right. Switching between AMT and MT mode, that's easy. Switching then the modes within those modes is easy enough with that button there for your thumb. Changing the gears up and down, easy enough with the, you sort of have this seesaw like that, so finger pulls to go, oh, you know, it's easy. I've mentioned it about 2 or 3 times now. But here, too much going on. Cruise control, your set, your res, all your toggle here for your menu. There's just too much to hit and get wrong. I quite like this display. Again, the exact same, the TFT screen. It's very, very visible, very noticeable. It's got all the information you could want on there. You can obviously flick between it if there's information on there missing, but you can get your coolant levels, so your engine temps, you can get the time obviously, your RPMs and speedos, nice and big and visible. Gear position indicator, which is so important on a bike like this, and of course like your fuel range and everything there. Nothing groundbreaking, simple, keep it the way it is. Job is a good one. It's got a great amount of pull and torque, like the MT-09 basically, because it is an MT-09. It's just, I just don't really see why it needs that AMT system. A quick shifter would still get that feel. You'd still get that feel of everything happening quite quickly. This doesn't save any more time, any more convenience. I don't know. I'm really struggling to see why it's in this bike. I don't understand who buys it. I don't understand who it's for. Even older chaps who have maybe had their time with the manual bikes, everything's getting a bit heavy. Why would you go out and buy this? You'd go and get a Rebel, you'd go and get an Africa Twin, you'd get the DCT models. This is very still aggressive. It's an MT. It's designed to be a bit of a street weapon. So I'm just not sure yet. Oh, whoops, my bad. I beeped the horn. I'm just not sure yet. Again, that's because of how clustered everything is. See? I'm just not sure yet. I'm really not sold on this. It belongs in a Tracer. It belongs in the Yamaha Tracer Sport Tourer, where you're going to be, yeah, touring all day, off to France, off to Belgium, wherever you might be off to for your hollybobs. Yeah, it just does not make sense to me in this bike when the quick shifter would do exactly the same thing. My conclusion is, if you buy one, stick it in MT mode and enjoy that, but ultimately probably you're best off going to buy an MT-09 with the quick shifter. Yeah, because it's the same bike. It's so much fun to ride. This is fun to ride, but it's not fun to ride because it's the AMT. It's fun to ride because it's an MT-09. So props to Yamaha, congratulations to Yamaha. They've done exactly what they set out to do. This has shown off the responsiveness. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll quickly put it in D+ for the remainder of the test ride. They have shown that their system can do exactly what they've asked it to do. It is very responsive, it is very sporty. You know, it does stay in the RPM, it wrings its neck off and all that jazz. But the MT mode is more fun. The MT mode is more aggressive. The MT mode is more real. And that to me is what an MT is all about. They're popular for a reason. They've sold in the thousands for a reason. And for me, this was just the wrong bike. So use the system, but put it in a Tracer. Yeah, so that's my concluding thought. I just, for the extra £550, save yourself £550 and buy braided brake lines and braided clutch lines and nice wavy discs or something for your MT-09. Because this just isn't the right bike for it. Okay, so there we have it. That was the Yamaha MT-09 Y-AMT system. Like I say, love the looks of the bike. Very aggressive. Just this transformery crap I can't deal with. But yeah, no clutch, no gear shifter. You have this plus here for your finger. and this negative here, this down with your thumb. I've probably said it about 1,000,001 times, but that's the highlight of the system. That's what they're marketing it all for. I just don't really understand why it's in that bike, but hey ho, each to their own. But well done, Yamaha. On that note, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a like. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, but whatever you do, leave a comment. Until the next time, cheers. Get on well.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.